Man, I'm so boring. But like, I think the last slide was kind of what I was driving towards, and that. I know we're past the hour, by the way. I'm super sorry. Hey, if folks got to run or dash to the next meeting,
Yeah.
do whatever you got to do. Appreciate you hanging with us. But the last soapbox that I would have thought here is when reporters and journalists and they all start to ask the questions like, "Hey, what's 2023 look like for cyber, and what are your predictions for the new year?" I feel so bad, like a broken record, saying we're just going to see the same shit.
More of the same.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
that picture, don't be the low hanging fruit in the room. I think that's still something that rings true, even when we see a lot of this, because we were, I don't know, with this safari ride of incidents that we just went on. Look, you still saw some of the what we poked fun at as the simple stuff. But there was a Tradecraft Tuesday that we had last year where we were talking about what is the severity of a vulnerability. And we talked a little bit about like context and your own perspective of like, look, if you see some whatever 9.8 critical, I don't know, the sky is falling thing, but you're still rocking some Windows 7, like legacy deprecated servers, you got other priorities. So
Right.
I would keep that as like, hey, let's keep ourselves anchored here. There's a lot of sweet, sexy stuff we can chat about, but don't be the low hanging fruits. And I think that's still the constant through 2023.
Cover the basics, get your basics covered. I think Kyle did a post years ago on Reddit about that.
Yep. I agree. I think if there's one thing to point out here, we talked a lot about like these big companies getting hacked, right? LastPass, Microsoft, Cisco, Uber, Rackspace, right? They all got hacked. They've all got security teams, security departments, like whole departments of people. They've got budgets, they've got tools, they've got all kinds of stuff, and they still got hacked. But there's a difference in how you can get hacked. There is targeted attacks in which these big vendors are generally the victims of targeted attacks. People going after Microsoft, they're going after Cisco, right? These are big known brands. People understand that if they get into there is a lot that can be had from that. That's one way, is targeted. The way that most people who are not these big companies actually get breached is not by targeted attacks, but is by spray and pray. And that is by attackers just sending out a lot of phishing emails, scanning for open exchange servers, doing all of these things that are meant to hit a broad swath of people. And when they get in, that's when they drop the ransomware and do all that kind of stuff, because they need to find a way to like monetize this stuff that's happening often. And so I think if you can take anything away from this, there is very little that you can do over time to stop a targeted attack. You can slow it down, you can kick the attackers out quickly, but even when you're these big companies with massive budgets and a ton of money, you're still going to get hacked. What you don't want to be is in, like John Hammond said, you don't want to be in that low-hanging fruit. You don't want to be the victim of spray and pray. Get your basics done, get your things set up, get your patching and your house in order so that spray and pray attacks don't hit you, and you'll probably be pretty good until you get to a company that's the size of these big guys. Then you got to worry about targeted attacks. So I think that's where really everybody should focus. Don't focus on tip of the spear. Focus on fundamentals, basics, and covering all your bases.